Welcome guys to this tutorial where we'll be learning how to build a website. Is very nice to have here, but before we quickly go to uh, start building the website, there are a few things I would like us to understand. And this is a free tutorial on how to build a website, but we are going to first of all talk about the purpose of this tutorial. The purpose of this tutorial one is to give you a fundamental knowledge on building a website with WordPress. Why I specify with WordPress is because there are different ways to build a website. You can decide to code it, or you can decide to use a content management system like WordPress. So for this tutorial we are going to basically be focusing on how to build a website with WordPress. Secondly, to guide you through building your first professional website with WordPress, and also to teach you how to design a responsive website on WordPress using Elementor. When I mean responsive, meaning it can be used on a phone, on a PC, on an iPad. So any device someone is using to view your website, the design will adapt to the nature of that device. That's what I mean by responsive website. Then what I require from you in this tutorial, actually the course is absolutely free. So all I'll be needing from you is your time. So your time to actually sit back and try to understand every step. So I don't expect you to casually watch through this video and try to implement anything. No, give it your time. It's a free course, so you have to understand every step at least once and for all. Secondly, to build a website you must have a hosting plan, hence you will be required to get one. What I mean here is you need a hosting plan to own a website. I will explain hosting plan later on as we go on. When we get there, I will explain why you need a hosting plan. Without a hosting plan, there is no need going about putting effort to get a website. So you need a hosting plan. Then third, in this tutorial there are no exams, there are no tests, but anyway you'll be required to submit a project after the tutorial. How we are going to do, you are going to be giving us your link. Through the link, that is your website address, where we'll go and check how you're able to implement the steps. If you want to build a website or a blog, we'll go through them. All these things we'll explain later. Then you will need a laptop for this course. So it's not, the target of the course is not what you can achieve or do with your phone. There are courses for that, but this one you will need a laptop or a desktop. So if you don't have one, you can just borrow from a friend or from a colleague, just for the purpose of this tutorial, so that you also can be implementing as we go on. And the important facts you need to know about building a website. Like as I was before, I understood anything about building website to and I relating everything to coding, because later I understood that you can actually build a website without knowing coding. So one important fact you should know that building a website is very easy. It doesn't require you to be a computer guru to get started. You don't need to know computer from A to Z. You just need to know basic things. Your basic computer appreciation training can get you started when you want to build a website. So you may not know all the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and React, and other programming languages, but if you know computer basically, you can do this thing. And the only way you can actually become a web developer is by building one. Hence, watching a full 1 hour tutorial won't benefit you if you are not actually building one. What I mean here is everything about building a website, in fact, everything about computer tutorials entirely, you have to follow the steps. Like, you have to be practically doing it. So when you watch computer video, it's just like you are in primary school. You are watching videos of what is being done in the university. You can never be part. But even if you are in primary school and you follow university student, undergraduate to do a practical course, if someone comes, you can show even a child. They say, no, this is how it was done. So doing things practically can never be overemphasized. So web building, you have to be doing it. Like, you have to practically do it. So if you watch all the videos and you didn't put anyone in practice, like you were not following the steps personally, you will not understand anything. You watch the video, after a while you forget everything. So if you're not really ready to go into actually the actual building of a website, I will just kindly and nicely advise you to quit, because you'll be wasting your time. That's the fact. Though no knowledge is waste, you can gain 1 or 2 knowledge, but that's not the target. The target is to make you a professional website builder, not a website viewer. You understand? So you have to follow in the step. Now, a skill like web building is not to learn and keep in your cupboard. If you are not ready to start earning with this skill, I strongly advise you again to quit. When I mean earn, it's either you want to use it for your business to increase sales, or you want to be building website for people that will pay you after you build a website for them. So it's for any of these, but anything other from this that I just want to add it to my archive of knowledge, it won't do you that much good. So you have to learn it so that you will be a professional in it, because even me now, I'm learning. Everyone is still learning. No one can know computer from beginning to the end. You know it today, it comes tomorrow. It has evolved. It has updated itself. So you have to learn and earn with this skill. Then what you should expect at the end of this tutorial: one, you'll be able to set up HostGator. You'll be able to set up HostGator, go to HostGator, everything, how to buy a hosting plan, and you'll be able to launch and set up WordPress. And finally, you should be able to build a WordPress website, at least. At the end of this tutorial, actually, it's not long, but we're going to take you through the important key steps that you can, after this website, you can be able to at least tell someone with a little confidence. If I'm not even little with confidence that bring that contract, I can build the website, because it's very simple. It's not hard at all. Then we'll talk about we'll talk about web hosting and hosting plan. You need to know what is web hosting. Now, hosting entirely simply means um, you know keeping your information on the internet space for that it will be safe, it is recoverable, and it's lasting. So when I mean hosting, let me give you a practical example. The internet is not your house, it's not your father's house, it's not your friend's house. It's like a community. Not that it's like it is a community, and you are new to that community. So for you to have a space to stay, you need to buy or rent. So hosting is like you are giving your information to the internet to keep for you, and probably to give you back when you need them. So there are hosting companies. These guys are like the landlord of the internet. So you need a space. So you are going to buy a hosting plan for them. Hosting plan is like rent. You're going to pay for a rent. It's for a specific time. It can be for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, as the case may be. So for you to host your website, you must have a hosting plan. Are you getting it? Then let me just say, okay, what is this web hosting? The service of hosting a website on the internet, making it viewable by other users. So they are offering the host companies, they are offering you the service of keeping your information on the internet, and they are also the one to, okay, you want someone from London, from another country to see your website. The hosting company is the one that make all these things possible. So that's why you have to buy it from them. You can get it for free. That will talk about how to get a free website in another tutorial that will be coming up. But it's not advisable because you are very limited. Very limited. It's just like let me say you are a visitor to someone's house. You don't have a say. So whatever the person said, that is what you will do. Then we'll talk about okay, let's talk about example of some web hosting companies. We have HostGator, we have Bluehost, DreamHost, Hostinger, SiteGround, GoDaddy. We have a lot of them. These are web hosting companies. If you want a website, you have to buy a hosting platform, one of these. And for this tutorial, and also even if you just come to check the tutorial and go back and do what you want to do, I would still advise you to go with HostGator. For any beginner, you like to use HostGator because HostGator is cheaper, is responsive, it's easy also to use HostGator. Getting it? It's fast growing these days. A lot of people are switching to HostGator from GoDaddy, from SiteGround, because HostGator is cheap. The economy is very tough in any country you go, and they almost provide same service. Though some has been in existence before others, they almost do the same thing. Because they need spending much when you can get things for free or cheaper. So like this course is cheap, is free entirely. So if I had said pay 10,000, which a friend of mine some few years ago learned web building with about 70,000 naira. 70,000 naira. He told me, I said, oh wow, I wanted to then, but I couldn't afford the money. But today, you see, most of these things are becoming very cheap because people are out there, they've seen what it is to learn a skill. They've advised people to also follow by learning skills. Some are still looking at the impossibility. So that most of us are taking it upon ourselves to ensure that in this country you are youth. At least we want to see how we can help to push you to start something, or sometimes you have it in your mind and you are afraid that, oh, I would have to pay a lot. No, this one, we just want you to get it for free, and to let you know it's possible to learn all these things without paying much, except you want to go very advanced, because then someone will be giving you his knowledge that he didn't sleep all through the night trying to acquire, so you just little thing that you can give to him. And then, come on, even if he asks you to pay 10,000 naira, this thing you learn is far more than 10,000 naira. And if I say pay 10,000 naira, you would want to, and you'll be limiting yourself, you'll be sitting waiting for government to give you job. So that's why sometimes programs and offers like this come up. So we are going to be using HostGator, that's our web hosting company. And when you go to when we talk about the hosting plan, the hosting plan is an internet service provided by a hosting company that allows individuals and organizations to keep their website accessible and live. For your website to be live, where anybody can type in your address and get you. For it to be possible, you need to buy a hosting plan. Now, the hosting plan varies. Like when you go to HostGator, you're going to see the hosting plan this way. I will leave the link below. You get the link. Some are as you go through this course, you see the link. Now, when you click the link, just make sure you click the link. Don't go to any browser and try to type in HostGator. No, you'll be taken to a lot of places. Only the link can take you here, and through the link, any time you come through a link, the referral link is always cheaper. So if you use the link, you will get to this point. We'll talk about it later, but let's just take time to talk about it. So when you come here, the hashing plan, the baby plan, the business plan. For a tutorial like this, we always advise you go for the hashing plan, which is $2.75 per month. It's very cheap. Some hosting companies will charge you $10 annually, but this one is cheap. So for you to start building a website, this is just what you need. You go for the hashing plan. So that is that for this video. We'll continue in the next video. Thank you very much.